Hello.
Hello.
It's Melissa.
And John.
From Little House of Big.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. We wanted to do a wrap-up of 2019.
We didn't get the amount of camping in that we had hoped for this year. Life got in the way. A lot of house projects.
2019 just kind of threw us for a loop. I can't even quite put it back together, but between some health, issues and some family obligations and house projects like a hot water heater, a new deck, and now a furnace issue, I just feel like 2019 just kind of threw stuff at us. It threw lemons at us, and we've had to dodge them.
Yeah, the kind of lemons that full-timers have successfully got away from, I think. But
yeah, buy a house. So fun.
Yeah.
So anyways.
That's what they say.
Yeah. We just wanted to come in and just, because we know we didn't do a great job with our video capturing this year, and just do a wrap-up, because there were several campgrounds we didn't even do reviews of. We just, I don't know, we just thought we were going to do a better job, and we just didn't.
Yeah,
so
we dropped the ball.
That and, we were tired.
Tired, busy.
Sick.
Yeah. So first trip of the year is Chatfield. We like to use Chatfield as our shakedown trip every year. It's not too far from the house. It's close to civilization in case, the camper needs parts or something, then we're not too far out. It's always a great place to stay. The campsites are super level, very well cared for.
Chatfield's just one of our favorite places to go in the spring. It's because it's close to us, because the hardware stores are close if we forget something, and it's just, it's always predictable. It's a predictable campground to go to. So that was our first one in April. Then the next one we went to in the beginning of May was St. Vrain, and that's up north of Denver. That one surprised me.
Yeah, it's fairly close to the highway, so we had lowered our expectations as a result, and I think that was unnecessary. It's beautiful. It does get a lot of local traffic from folks who kind of live in the general area. Several bodies of water, a lot of waterfowl, everything from ducks to various raptors, owls, and eagles.
I got on the paddleboard for the first time, so that was fun up the St. Vrain. It was great ponds to paddleboard on.
Yeah.
So that was fun. A really nice campground, very level, very family friendly, fishing, all sorts of activities up there for kids. And again, it is super convenient to locals. So there were a lot of locals walking through the park, and we're telling John, oh, hey, do you see that owl nest over there? Or, hey, don't forget to check over here. So that was kind of interesting, because we don't normally have that when we're out camping.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. The next place we went to in the middle of May was Steamboat Lake State Park. We've been there 2 times before, so this was our 3rd trip out. One of our favorites, not so much for the photography, but again, the waterfowl are amazing out there.
Yeah. During nesting season, it is packed with waterfowl. Hundreds and hundreds of pelicans, lots of other types of waterfowl. So if you're a wildlife shooter, there's plenty of opportunities there.
It was actually rated one of the top 10 beaches in the state park system, the whole national state park system. It does have a really cool beach. We've never been on it, but you can check out our past posts about the Steamboat Lake State Park. It's convenient to us, about an hour and a half away, but I was sick that weekend. So we didn't get anything
very much done. Yeah.
I mean, John went out taking photography, and I think it was a full moon too, so that kind of thwarts the nighttime photography.
It was a full moon the night that we arrived. That did provide a few opportunities, and then in the morning it was socked in with fog, which made for some really nice photography on the lake with the birds. So that was a
But
good
I
time.
was in the camper most of the weekend. It was an unpleasant weekend for me.
And the one time we have been on the beach, it was about shoulder deep in tumbleweeds.
Right. We did get out one year late in the season when they had lowered the water, because it is a reservoir, so they used the water. And that was really cool because we didn't have to be on the beach, official beach. We were just outside of our camper, and the dogs loved it because it was so flat and sandy, and it was really cool. So we really like that. It's close. It's, again, predictable. So that's nice. Our third camping trip, we were supposed to go back down to the Arkansas Headwaters, down outside of Buena Vista and Salida. And we were both sick, so that did not happen.
It was not going to happen. We've been there previously. You can check out our video about that.
Ruby Mountain.
Ruby Mountain. And beautiful down there. And we really are looking forward to going back again. Beautiful scenery, a lot of places to kayak or paddleboard.
A lot of history.
A lot of history.
14ers if you want to hike them.
Yeah. And
neat area.
And a lot of beaver ponds and things like that to check out if you're into that for
Yeah, and the
for a
Arkansas
nice
River goes through
hike.
there. Mm-hmm.
And you can hike up the hills, you can hike along the valleys. Pick your skill level, and there's beautiful places to go up there.
Yeah, Salida's become quite the music haven and art festival haven. Buena Vista's close behind it, so there's always something going on in the summertime.
Yeah.
So, neat place. The next one we went to was the Burning Bear Campground up on Guanella Pass. You've probably seen the video for that one.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It smelled heavenly.
It did.
But super small.
Super small. Yeah, don't necessarily trust what they say size-wise for your camping spot, because they either they use a different tape measure than everybody else does, or they're going on a different rule of thumb. Usually when we book a spot that says 30 feet, that for us that usually means your rig 30 feet. In this situation,
They meant 30 feet.
30 feet. Yeah, 30 feet.
Go see the video.
Yeah, and then it backs up to dirt. So no room for the truck, just the trailer.
And I don't know what happened that week. We were just a little off. We did get some video, but we didn't get hardly, enough.
Mm-hmm.
But it was gorgeous.
It was.
If you have a small rig, tents, or a truck camper, go.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah.
So the next one we went up to Leadville. We went to Baby Doe Campground off of Turquoise Lake.
Yeah. And
on the first day of summer.
First day of summer. We left here rainy and cold. We're about a half mile above Denver's, mile high. We're about a mile and a half above sea level here where we are. And we left here rainy and cold, and because of that we expected Leadville was going to be snowy and colder. And we arrived and were pleasantly surprised. We were greeted with 60-degree temperatures.
It was gorgeous.
Clear blue skies. Oh, it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And then, we woke up the next day, the second day of summer. And apparently summer's very short up there.
Yeah.
It would snowed. It was cold. It was wet.
Yeah, so we didn't get a lot of video because we were in the camp. Well, we weren't really in the camper. We went into town. We went through the mining museum, and that was very interesting and a lot bigger than what it looks like from the outside. Don't be fooled. It's multiple buildings with multiple rooms. It's a little maze-like.
On multiple levels.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's very big. Two and a half hours for us to get through it. We were beat by the time we were done.
And then they had a festival going on. I think it was Blues and Brews, like barbecue competition, but it was snowing so hard.
It was. So, all these people had packed up their stuff. They hauled it up into town. They set up for this, this long-awaited festival.
And there were no
and
people.
And it was cold and snowy, and about the only business that was making a lot of money was the coffee house, and there was a line there.
And they were making a lot of money.
They were making a lot of money, yeah.
So we will go back there. Would like to go back to Turquoise Lake. A very interesting geological area. The lake itself is not really accessible unless you're in a campground. And we didn't go out on the water because obviously it was freezing. But there's just so much opportunity up there. There's so much history in Leadville. There's so much history around Leadville. And the campground was so clean, so clean. It was one of the cleanest campgrounds we've ever stayed at.
It was crazy clean. It's like they had a landscaping crew come through once a week and
vacuumed it.
Pick up all the pine cones and everything. It was odd. It was oddly clean.
Yeah, it reminds me of the stories of my mother, which talked about the Black Forest in Germany, about how picked up and clean it is. Mm-hmm. That's what it reminded me of. There was no stray anything in the campground forest, anything. So very interesting. And around there, they're unfortunately dealing with beetle kill, so there's a lot of logging going on. But in the campground area, that was not the case.
Right.
Gorgeous. And then we went on 4th of July. We went up to my family's cabin and had a nice time with my parents. And then we came home to a project.
After project, after project, after project. The deck on the back of our house, very old, probably from the 80s, rotted out. Had to come down. We pulled the deck down. We find out the siding and things behind the deck were rotted out. So new siding had to be put on the back of the house. We had to put in a new deck. We then had a bunch of concrete poured for a patio. So our deck is smaller, but we now have a little bit more space in the backyard. And the dogs love having the concrete to lay out on the sunshine and things like that. So
it'll be worth it, but in the time, it just sucked up so many weekends. So
we had to move a fence, and and then we had a water heater go out, and
we had a roll off that we had for 6 days.
Yeah.
We hauled butt to get that thing filled because we didn't take time off.
We filled it with a lot of construction debris.
So it was worth it in the end, but it sucked up so much time. So we didn't actually get to go camping again until mid-August. Mm-hmm. And that's when we took a week and we went out to Steamboat Lake State Park above Steamboat Springs.
Beautiful.
So a great area. We did do a review video on that, but again, we just didn't get as much video footage as we should have or would have liked to. I'm not exactly sure what happened, except you kind of get out of the mode of thinking about how to video or that you should be videoing, and you just don't.
Yeah,
so
we just hung out and enjoyed our time there, I think.
And we really kind of needed that. We needed the time to be quiet and unplug and be still. So that was nice. Yeah. But we do have a video coming up about that campground, and again, another campground we would highly recommend. Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
So gorgeous.
Those apparently are my words for the 2019, in case you haven't picked that up.
Beautiful and gorgeous.
Anyways, highly recommend that one. That was a great experience.
Absolutely.
And then we had a couple of last minute trips that we were going to take that ended up getting canceled that were in there. We were supposed to go up to Keystone over Labor Day, and that we canceled. And I know there's another one because I canceled it because of the roll-off. So, it was just the weirdest year. Our last camping trip was in September for John's birthday, and we went up to Headwaters State Park. And it's like in the middle of the northern part of Colorado. It was not convenient to get to.
No, it wasn't. In fact, it was a lot further north than we had actually anticipated. It was almost the Wyoming border.
We were like 20 miles in Wyoming. It was.
Yeah.
Apparently, we like Wyoming because we've now our third trip to the border.
This one was by accident.
Yeah.
A lot of beautiful scenery up there.
Well, they kept saying how it was a moose territory, and I don't think we saw any moose when we were there. No. We saw moose statues, but no moose. We do have a review video of that campground that will be coming up, so look for that. Mm-hmm. But I can't believe that was our last camping trip.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be.
No.
But it was.
No, it was sad to put the trailer away.
We tried to hold out, but we realized I think there was snow that was coming. That was being predicted, and for all of you part-timers, you know that the last thing you want to be doing is last minute, oh my God, what are we going to be doing? In fact, we did have a freeze before we could actually winterize her. So John had to go down to the storage lot and pull the hot water tank plug
and to drain it and
try and do some, basic so we wouldn't burst lines. So even at that, our best laid plans, it started off, we were behind, and here we are.
Yeah.
So 2019 wasn't one of our worst years we've ever had, but it just seemed like it just kept throwing obstacles at us, and
Right.
we made it through, and we're fine, and 2020 is going to look so great.
Yes, it is.
So
We're already booking.
yay! Camping is coming. Anyways, that's our 2019.
It is. Here's to a fabulous and successful 2020 and a lot of amazing camping trips for you.
For you, and health and safety and peace for 2020.
Coffee up.
Coffee up.